Hello, how's everybody? It's been like so long since I've seen everybody. I swear I went through so much. I mean, like, this is my first YouTube. Ugh, since the last week, it was really something else. I mean, I don't know if I put it up on the YouTube, but I went through so much. Okay, first of all, I was doing it was really serious because I was doing YouTubes and I was on the music and I was working like every day of the week. And the thing about it is I was like studying for the music and the songs and everything like while I was working. And then I was working, I didn't care how busy it was. So I was doing that, maybe sometimes one or two songs. And then as soon as I got home, I'm sorry, I had to just chill. I'm just being myself, okay? I got this ice cream, it's vegan. But this is the only time I have to myself to be with you all and talk to you. It's chocolate. But anyway, um, so the only time, so then after that, what I had to do is I would be like, as soon as I come back home, I would have to do the song that I practiced on all day, okay? And then as soon as I got home, I would do the song. And those songs wasn't easy. A lot of them wasn't easy. I mean, I don't know if anybody knows a lot about singing, but a classical vocalist singing is like they know what they're doing. It's like you're just not singing out of their head. It has to be done in a proper way. I mean, not so much technical, but it just has to be done in a proper way. And it uses a lot of energy, but it's very beautiful. So then I had to do that. And the problem was too, I was learning because another thing too, it's like when you're doing back to back songs, like I was doing so many back to back songs, which I'm going to cut this off pretty much telling you, well, I have to tell you what's going on, you know what I mean? Because we're going to get into this comment. But anyway, when you do back to back songs, you learn something. I mean, you're compiling information. And because it's not an instrument, I mean, an instrument is like external. You're using your internal body, but you're using something external because it's something that really a lot of things can't affect you because it's automated. You know what I mean? But with your vocals, it's not automated. You have to do it yourself. You're doing, like, for instance, like a piano, all those little, those things that's working inside the piano, you have to come to grips with them while you're singing. So it's like thousands of things that's happening and coming together. And you get to a level, but then if you do back to back songs and like studying the song and then interpreting the song and then actually singing the song, um, you're going to compile information, meaning that you have two ways. Either you can get to a point to where you're just overloaded, or else you can get to a point to where you start processing to bears like you want to do. Your body wants to facilitate what you accomplish, and it wants you, and you do better. You know what I mean? So then that's what happened. And when you get to that point to where your body starts processing, it's like if you don't know what's happening, especially with vocals, if you don't know what's happening, you feel like you're gonna like just pass away. I mean, it's really serious. But I knew what I was doing because I tell you I have this channel explains that I'm very in tune with with the things that happen to me. And I studied those things, and I've been doing them for a long time, so I understood what was going on. Other than that, I would have thought I was, sick, or I don't want to say it, but I never had COVID, but I mean, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. but I would have felt that I was like in that realm. But I already knew what happened because I knew I was doing the songs. So I had to keep my cool. I knew I had developed more ability and I knew I was doing better. But I had to do like, I had to believe in, okay, well, I know what I was doing. You know what I mean? So I know what I have to do. So I pretty much stopped doing videos for a little while. Excuse me, I stopped doing everything. And I mean, I'm coming back to life again. But, I want to take it slow. Anyway, everything is going to change anyway because at this point in time, I always change, everything around because, I have to do better. We have to do better. So I think about different ways of doing better. So I don't put that many songs out. I put a little bit songs out because there's so many I already have. In the Jehovah Witness videos, this is the first one. I told the person who I'm starting the comments from that I'm doing the comments. And this one is a long one, which gives me a lot of material. Thank you very much. I'm going to do it section by section because I really do care about this comment because it hits so many points. You know what I mean? If the station was making money, I would have to give this person something. So anyway, what I'm trying to say is that what I do when I do the comments is I actually write the comments out on my own to make them myself. It's like when I sing a song, the song is not, it's not somebody, I mean, it's somebody else's song, but I have to make it, you have to pretty much make it your own so it doesn't sound too, so it doesn't sound like the other person who sings it, who made it popular. So what I do is just do the same thing with the comments, so it's making it more enjoyable and I find more points to talk about. Is I rewrite the comment by hand, okay? And this is the long one, which I'm glad because I have more than one video that I can do it in because the points are very important in this comment. And I couldn't just like read them out one by one. But these are things, I didn't know this person was a strong ex-Jehovah Witness. I didn't know that they had, I'm almost sure they seem like they experience certain things that I thought a lot of times you just think it's just you. And that's the way the system was as far as the ex-Jehovah Witness. I think they wanted us to think that it's just us. And the only thing that messed them up was the fact that, with YouTube, we got like, what? Like, there's other people. It's not just me. But that's without YouTube. It was like, it's just you. I mean, like when I first left the organization, I had no idea there was like so many people. You pretty much just think it's just you. So you don't really talk about it too much to anybody. And I have to enjoy my ice cream because I'm just recuperating from all those things I was doing, and I just want to enjoy my life a little bit. So I don't eat ice cream that much, but it's like you're with me here, So now we're gonna start this comment, okay? And thank you for holding in there. I had to explain everything to you because I was like putting out videos like every day. You know what I mean? Plus I got a Monday off, so that's good too. I hope it's good. But I love to, like work every day. Because it's more money too. But I'm sure everything's going to work out. So right now I'm enjoying my one day off. Okay. Excuse me. So here we go. And it goes this way. And this is the comment section. And like I said, this is a long comment. And I'm going to continue it until it finishes. Because it means a lot. I did not know that this comment entailed so much information. And if the station was making money, I would owe this person. But the station's not making any money. But I mean, I'm putting money into it, and I'm going to hopefully take off my taxes. But if it were, I would owe this person something. Okay. But not now. Everybody's in. We're all in the same boat right now. Okay. Okay. So here we go. Okay. I know it's the same kind of things we were talking about, but it's so important. And it just says, does Serena Williams. And I was calling her Selena. I do not know why, but I corrected it. Thanks to people. Thank you for who are who helped me guide me to tell me it was a Serena. And Serena. Okay, yeah, Serena. Okay, so here we go. Does Serena Williams know how many children of Jehovah's Witness parents committed suicide because they were disfellowshipped from breaking the Watchtower rules? And let me get this. From breaking the Watchtower rules. Okay, I'm gonna stop right there. Okay, I'm gonna talk about this. Okay, does she really? I don't think that she really. I'm not gonna say. I'm gonna have to say cares, because you're looking at people who have a lot of money. I mean, some of these people are really nice, but when you have a lot of money, you have two directions you can go in, and you can make a lot of money. You could say, and when it comes to things like that, you could either say, just like turn. How can you say turn your head to it? I guess you can say turn a blind. I don't know. There's an expression, turn a blind eye or whatever. But you just act like it doesn't exist. Okay? It's just like if you have a business and you start making money and you want to cheat your employees and you know you can get away with it. So you do it. The only thing you have to do is act like you don't care. And after a while, you'll get like a calloused heart. So I'm almost sure she took that direction. But I'm not saying all rich people do that. I know a lot of them don't. But it appears that she did. Okay. It most likely she did, because we already know. So she pretty much doesn't think about the effects of like this one, of the children of the Jehovah's Witnesses that commit suicide. I mean, I'm almost sure she knows that it happens, or like I said, she probably just doesn't think about it because it's something that you turn your, don't think about, and it'll go away or something like that. So I really pretty much don't think, I really think that she doesn't think about that aspect of it, especially also since she, just recently got baptized. So it would be something that she doesn't care about. Hmm? But does it happen? Yes. I mean, like I said, there's two suicides, which I hate to say, but there's two suicides in my family, which is a lot for one family, and they were in a Jehovah's Witness. And I was never able to talk to them, so I understand that comment. But like I said, most of the things that happen are like, it's not like the suicides as Jehovah's Witness, it's not really thought of as happening to a lot of people, but it is a lot to us because we understand what's going on. We understand that it's not just an isolated thing, like just one person doing it, but it entails the parents also. You know what I mean? To where they can't think about it. You know, as Jehovah's Witness, and I told you about that book, is that there's a lot of things that they can't think about. They don't have the ability to think about. And I was a Jehovah's Witness before too, and there was a lot of things that happened that I couldn't think about. Like, for instance, and we're still on this part, and this goes under that because I know the parents of the people who got disfellowship, the parents of the people who committed suicide, they really just don't think about them. And I had a point, or I had something that I was going to say about that, about, because I was saying that I was Jehovah's Witness, but I wanted to give you an example of, like, for instance, and this thing is clean. I got it from work. I'm not going to go there, but they just, I forget that it's with me, and I bring it. You know what I mean? I got these little rags, but they're clean. They look like it's dirty, but it's not. But anyway, what I'm trying to say, one of the points that I have to make with this is that there's a lot of things in the world that happens. Like now, since I'm not Jehovah's Witness, my friends can tell me, there was somebody who got hurt in the metro. And like a homicide, I even hate to say it, but like, they were telling me at work, and how dangerous the metro is, could be, or the subways. And when I was Jehovah's Witness, what I would just do is, like, not care. It's like, you just, like, you tell them, and it's like, okay, you tell them, how can I say? Like, you tell them, and you just, like, throw it away. You know what I mean? Like that. It's like, and then, like, if somebody tells you, like, you're Jehovah's Witness, and you tell them, in this African country just had a problem, and now the whole country is in a position to where they can't even take care of anything. Jehovah's Witness is like this. Throw it away. But now that I'm not a Jehovah's Witness, I will say, really? Where is it? And what's the problem? And why is it happening? Okay, now I can think about it. And before, there was nothing that, it's just, like, in this part of the comment, the parents, you can't say anything, because what I'm trying to say is, as I was going over it again, it's nothing there. It's nothing there. It's like I told you, like when I told you, now I would say, what country, is there anything, anything I could do? I want to show you this one thing I have. Like this, like, I'm part of this this thing. I'm not rich or anything, but I give like $25 to this cause. Okay, it's heifer. I'm not doing anything. I'm not like, it's not a commercial or anything like that. I'm just telling you what I do. It's called heifer. And I do it because, I want to help somebody. I'm not rich at all. But I was saying to myself, as an American, and Americans should do this, is like there's other countries that need help, and if you could take like $5 or $10 and make a difference in other countries like Africa or very, because there's people who are we do not really know what poor is. I mean, even in our poorest place here, we could escape. I mean, like if I grew up in the poorest part of the world, I mean, in America, you could actually like escape and go somewhere else, okay? But these people can't escape, okay? So, that's what I do. But as Jehovah's Witness, they don't even think about it. And just think about all these things. And I'm still in this comment is I'm trying to explain why the parents, they're not going to worry about their children that committed suicide because they left the Jehovah's Witness. The only thing the parents is going to do is like, okay, well, that's what we told them. And that's it. And one trick is they can't talk about it with each other, because as a Jehovah's Witness, you're not supposed to talk about the people who left. So if they committed suicide, you can't talk about it. You can say, I mean, like, did I ever remember? I remember not, I just don't remember ever talking about someone who was disfellowshipped. I mean, we can hear some things that happen, but very slight. Oh, maybe like, oh, this person passed away. They were disfellowshipped, they passed away. And they would just go, that's it. Shh. That's it. They passed away. Just like that, you know what I mean? So, don't worry. The parents doesn't have anything. It doesn't make a difference. It's just that they committed suicide. The parents do not make a difference. Okay, anybody as far as Jehovah's Witnesses is not going to be concerned about this. So Serena is not going to be affected whatsoever, especially since she got baptized. So that one finishes that comment. I mean, that section. I'm going to go to the second section, next section. Because they're, and it goes on, but I'm making this one into the second part. Breaking the Jehovah's Witness rules because their parents kicked them to the curb, and they were disfellowshipped for breaking the Watchtower rules because their parents kicked them. I did that twice. Kicked them to the curb, and they were penniless, homeless, emotionally and psychologically unequipped to handle life outside the shelter religious vacuum. Okay. Now there's other things that happen, which I'm glad that this person, I didn't know this person understood that much about it. I didn't know that they have to be an ex-Jehovah's Witness now that they know all of this. So, the parents kicked him to the curb. And it happened a lot. I remember when I was on YouTube, and I was so shocked to know that other people had problems. I mean, I remember this one guy, he had to leave his house and everything, and the problems he had. And I was just totally, I mean, even though it happened to me, I was totally like, flabbergasted. I just wanted to use that word. But I was totally, in shock. I don't really use a lot of big words because I studied this, I already told you this, I'm trying to find the real language, this language that we all know. I know it's there. So I'm very careful, and I try to not use so many big words because I want to break meaning down, So that's why I don't use that many words, but that was a fun word to use. But I was just so, like in shock that other the other ex-Jehovah Witnesses had to go through this, and that's the only reason why we had YouTube. And one person said, why did we keep talking about it? Yes, it's important. I would not be here if I didn't have my ex-brothers and sisters. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, ex-brothers and sisters. I love when they call me brothers and sisters. I don't say ex-brothers and sisters because I know I say this all the time, but if I said ex-brothers and sisters, that would mean that you would be a Jehovah's Witness, but I'm saying my brothers and sisters. So I'm talking about ex-brothers, ex-Jehovah's Witnesses. And they're wondering why we can understand a lot of things as far as ex-Jehovah's Witnesses. And that's why, because we have to have two minds. I mean, like, as a Jehovah's Witness, you have a mind. But if you come out, you have to understand that mind, and then you have to understand another mind. So you pretty much have to understand a lot of things. Okay, so the hard time, yes, it happened to me too, like I said. Things I didn't want to talk about. Like I told you, the first time my brother told me, even though he was disfellowship, but he wanted to go back to Jehovah's Witness, he told me I was bad association. I had to leave his house. And I did leave his house, but yeah, like he got me back to help him out with his business, so I helped him out with his business. But anyway, ultimately he told me to leave again once he got everything in shape. Once he got his truck back. You know, I was a person, even though I never worried about so many things because I worry about them in my head and then I get them done. But I had a brother who, he studied me. I mean, like, the one I was staying with, he studied everything I did. Everything I did, he would just thought it was like something to study, you know what I mean? But, what I wanted to say, it's like, for instance, he lost his truck, and I didn't say anything, but, you know, I just, we both were disfellowship, but I know he was going to go back to Jehovah's Witness, and, he was very emotional, and when he lost his truck, because I told him he stopped working, and he brought me back to his house so that I could help him get back on track. So I was helping him get back on track. He never thanked me for that, but one time he lost his repossessed truck because he had a new truck, and he came in my room and he goes, I lost my truck. And what I was thinking, and I thought automatically, it was like, I have a car that's, you know, that I never went to go pick up. You know what I mean? I knew I had a car. That's the only thing I was thinking is, oh, he could use the car that I have that I never went to go pick up. I went to get my car fixed. Back in the day, you could do so many things. Like, I got my car fixed, and I didn't pick it back up. I didn't, like, go back and pick up the car, you know, because, you know, I didn't know if I wanted it. And back in those times, you could do things like that, you know what I mean? And they would hold it for a long time. Nowadays, you don't know what would happen. But he came back in, he goes, you know what? I go, what? He goes, you don't even think anything. You don't even worry about anything. I just told you that I lost my car, and you're like, you're just sitting there. And I go, Daryl, I'm not just sitting there. I figured out what we were going to do. So, I mean, I'm sorry I didn't get all emotional and stuff like that. So, I said, so anyway, I have this car. Let's go pick it up, and we could use that car for work. And that's what we did. You know what I mean? And there was another time he wanted to get me upset, and I got upset, and he was so happy that I got upset. But anyway, he ended up kicking me out again because he had a girlfriend and he wanted to go back to the Jehovah Witness. So I ended up like not a place to stay, and I had to call my brother to go to Atlanta, Georgia. And I called my brother and he goes, okay, I can send you a ticket, but it's cheaper if you wait 2 weeks. So I waited 2 weeks. But anyway, that wasn't the first time, because it happened a lot of times to where I needed my family and I didn't get their help, and it was like really, really a bad situation. So, as far as Selena Williams, she's not going to think about things like that. But I wanted to mention this because I wanted to mention all the things that actually happen to you when you leave the Jehovah Witness. So that's one thing. One of the things is that, yes, you could become homeless. Okay, that's a big deal. Emotionally and psychologically unequipped, yes. If you have, just say if you left the Jehovah Witness and you have money, okay? I mean, not money, but you have a place. You can have a place to stay, okay? And you can have a job, but then you have to worry about another big deal, and that's right here. Emotionally and psychologically equipped. And it's just as bad. Because you can actually, because like I was telling you, my brother, when he got his fellowship, I know he's going to go back, but look at him. He had a place, but he was emotionally and psychologically unequipped to not be a Jehovah Witness. So when I walked into his house, his lights were out. I don't know how in the world he had a TV on. I mean, he had the TV on and there was no lights and no heat. I don't think there was heat or anything. But he was sitting on the couch, and I was like in shock. I said, like, Daryl, what are you doing? But he was unequipped to handle a life without being a Jehovah Witness. So I told him he had to get up and out. And he goes, well, I'm taking these tranquilizers. I said, you can't take tranquilizers. You can't do that. You have to get to work, But some people can't. Like I said, if you don't make it in a homeless way, like for instance, some people become homeless, sometimes it's a better situation than being emotionally and psychologically unequipped, because if you're emotionally and psychologically unequipped, you cannot function. I mean, and especially since you don't, as a Jehovah's Witness, you don't believe in, a psychiatry or getting help. And that's a real bad situation, okay? So that's pretty much of a suicidal, like, like, being emotionally and psychologically unequipped will cause someone to commit suicide if you don't find God or something like that. So that's a real, sometimes I would have to say that one's could be worse than being homeless. Being because it's like you have everything that you need to function, but you can't because you mentally can't do it. You're mentally lost. Like I was telling you, my brother, he was mentally lost. He could not handle not being a Jehovah's Witness. You know what I mean? It was a bad situation. And if I didn't come in and help him, they would have just, I'm sure he would have lost his apartment, his house or something. I don't know if he was like renting it or if he was with option to buy or something like that. I don't know if that was happening, but you can only stay on the couch taking tranquilizers for so long without when you run out of money. You know what I mean? So, and like I said, being psychologically and unequipped is really not, it's just a very bad situation. Because that means you're lost. I mean, that means you have, your whole body and everything can function, but you can't do anything. You can't make plans. Actually, I was like that because, I'm just saying on a small scale, because like when I was doing so much work, I was doing the videos, I was doing this, I was doing that, but only I knew what I was doing. I wasn't like unequipped. I just knew what happened. So that helped me out. But I could understand. But then I couldn't do anything else. I couldn't do I didn't want to do any more songs. I couldn't do any more videos. I couldn't plan anything. The only thing I could do is go to work. But I knew what it was, I know why it was happening. And that's one thing, because I always, always study about what I'm studying and how things are happening and stuff like that. So I understand about being unequipped and psychologically unequipped. It's really bad. So these are all the things that I faced when you're an ex-Jehovah Witness, when you become an ex-Jehovah Witness. And most of the time, you're by yourself. Okay? You don't know of anything unless you hook yourself. But then you're afraid. They got it fixed up perfectly. Because then you're afraid to talk to ex-Jehovah Witnesses because you think something's going to happen. The whole thing is all stuck together. Like, for instance, then I'm afraid to talk to people who say they're ex-Jehovah Witness. I was afraid. So that's another thing too. So you have a lot of problems as an ex-Jehovah Witness. I'm saying the ones that made it, the only way you could really make it is if you had some connection with God. Because even the last few days, I was really doing very bad. And I know that, because I knew what was happening and everything, but it was just terror, But if it wasn't for God, I would not be helped. He's like, okay, we're going to take this step at a time, okay? And I want this, and I want this, and I want this. Okay, just calm down. I'm listening. I'm just saying how he is. It's like, okay, yes, go step by step. Don't think about this. Don't think about that. Yes, we're gonna take this at a time. And things worked out. Because I was always praying, but I'm just saying, with God can help you, and he most likely helped everyone here, because I don't think they would have ever made it. Okay, unequipped to handle the outside shelter. Now, this is one thing I want to talk about, the outside. So we understand about not unequipped and the sheltered religious vacuum. So now we left the sheltered religious vacuum. Okay. So now we have a term which is very good, and I'm going to call that the sheltered religious vacuum. And that's going to be a subject I want to talk about on the next one. I'm going to put this one up. The sheltered religious vacuum. And we're going to end it right here. So I hope everybody enjoyed this one. I haven't been with you all in so long, and I enjoyed this. You actually helped me, and I feel like I feel better. Even though, I would have never did this video if I was feeling terrible. But anyway, so, and thanks to the person who I'm doing the YouTubes, I'm feeding off their YouTubes on. And I even got a term that I'm going to use next, the sheltered religious vacuum. And that's what we're going to pick up now, because I want to have some, before I finish these comment on this one, I want to get into that and pretty much explain the sheltered religious vacuum that we left, okay? And I'm going on through the comment, okay? So thank you very much. I hope everybody enjoyed it, and thanks for welcoming me back. Bye-bye.